I've got some commercial-y stuff to do. I'm not doing that right now. I'm going to do this. This is the slate. Cat Princess out. Week 15. Can you believe it? It's Week 15. Tonight, it kicks off with Rams-Niners, a little NFC West battle. Before we get there, I want to check out the whole slate. All-time great matchups this week. Two that are majorly going to impact the race for the #1 seed in both conferences. Steelers, Eagles, Bills, Lions. Philly is favored by 5.5. Get to FanDuel Sportsbook, everybody. Spread some holiday cheer. Have some fun responsibly, of course. Detroit, a 2.5-point favorite over Buffalo. What do you make of that?
I think they should be favored over Buffalo. They've, Buffalo coming off a rough performance with that defense. The Lions have been lighting it up, 11 straight.
Can someone get Hamilton a coffee? We've got Dolphins, Texans, Houston favored by 2.5 or Coke Zero. That's what Hamilton drinks at 9 a.m. It's wild. Absolute sicko. They can clinch the AFC South with the win. A Colts loss to the Broncos. Dolphins win, by the way, keeps them alive. If Miami wins out over the next month, they have a 90% chance of getting into the playoffs. Hey, Brian Danziger in the control room. I love the Dolphins. You don't like to talk about them, but I like that you put that little, that's a little wink. That's from Hamilton. You go ahead, Hamilton. You should have taken that.
Listen.
That was from him to you guys.
That is, and we're going to get into some Tua a little later on in the show, too. He's playing really, really well right now. Luke's got some things to say about him, so
yeah. It's nice
we
that
got a lot of Dolphins.
Something good's going on for a Tua. Somebody with a Tua associated to their name. It's nice.
Yeah.
I don't track stories like that. I just read the headlines on Twitter. Okay, Sunday nighter. Casual, no suit Sunday. Will it return this week? We got a really good one. It's the Packers, who are a 2.5-point fave at Seattle. I want to dig into the Rams-Niners. We're going to do the whole Seattle-Green Bay game with Luke Kuechly, who's on the program, future Hall of Famer. I was thinking about the Rams yesterday and how they've worked their way back into playoff contention, and I couldn't help but call back to our training camp video. Hamilton went back and looked at it. Sick pup that he is. I looked so cute. I don't even have to see it. I loved my ponytail. I was wearing a white tank top. I think I loved this. Want to know why? Because it was the first day of our training camp tour.
Yeah.
If you compare the first day of our training camp tour to what I looked like on the last day of our training camp tour,
for all of us. Yeah.
Holy moly. Living off Cliff Bars and, I don't even know, combos at every gas station in America. Anyway, here's a look at that. One particular thing that stuck out to me, it'll make sense when you see this. I'm erratic.
Last year, I don't think anybody thought our team would be worth the and nobody believed that in our building. And even when we were 3-6, the thing I love the most about that group is they stayed steady, Kay.
Let's go.
And I love that. And so we're going to do that same thing.
Are you overlooked still, you think, going into this year?
I don't really care. You know, I think that we've got to earn it, whatever people say. I'm glad that people care because it makes the NFL relevant, but all these opinions don't mean anything until that ball's kicked off.
Told you. Great ponytail. Here's the deal. I brought up this clip to the guys last week when this was all happening, because remember how remember how upset he was that they weren't giving the Rams love, that everyone was overlooking them. Isn't this the same vibe? Are we repeating ourselves? Groundhog's Day, Bill Murray, let's go. The talk of that 3-6 start, the guys in that locker room never losing belief. It's happening. The Rams went 7-1 after their bye last year and made the playoffs, and they're now 6-2 out the bye after starting 1-4 this season. And that's sort of like the pissiness in him. I would run through a wall for that, Sean McVay. And he has it. He had it last year. He has it this year. So, you know, I don't know. The Rams have legitimately been one of the best teams in football over the second half of the season. Once again, they're so well coached. They've got Matthew Stafford. They're healthy. Everyone, you know, there's always an asterisk to the health part of it. But them being healthy, clearly, at the right time, is going to project them potentially into the playoffs and beyond. Yeah, but, you know, Niners-Rams are always kind of funky.
Yeah.
What do you got?
The competitiveness with him and Shanahan. He did not like that you brought up Kyle bringing in Belichick to try to mess with him. That got him even more riled up at the end of that interview.
But who really liked it? Me. Actually, that's one of the cringiest clips from all of training camp, because I was so proud of myself for my joke.
And he's like, you really like that one, guy. You really think that's funny, don't you?
I think he had the best last word on it, because I was so embarrassing with like how excited I was to tell him that. What else do we have? Guys, it's very fitting. We want to go here? Tell me.
Yeah, let's talk about, because this one, basically is a playoff game for the Rams if they are going to make that run. Let's pull up the full screen we have here.
Please.
The Rams' playoff chances with a win, their playoff odds go up to 50%. If they lose to the Niners tonight, it goes down to 27%. They're getting plus 154 odds to make it over on FanDuel Sportsbook.
Woo!
If they win, and Seattle loses to the Packers, that shoots up to 60%. So huge weekend for them. This is
I'm a
make or break
believer.
time.
Are you a believer in the Rams? Tell me right now. Plus 154, the man said, to make the playoffs. I'm in.
I am a believer in what the Rams are doing right now, but the Niners, it's crazy. The Niners are 3-point favorites in this game, given the history between these two.
Kittle looks great.
Kittle looks awesome. If the Rams win this
Debo
one, I think they're
hilarious.
going. If the Rams win this one, I think they edge out Seattle, and I think
What
they
would
end up
stop
going.
them? What's your concern here? They're firing on all cylinders. They have Puka. They got Cooper Kupp looking like Teen Wolf out there as usual. Like, what do you mean? What could stop them?
I think the Niners.
Shanahan?
Shanahan and the Niners looked great last weekend, and they always have something for. Like, this is kind of, they're probably not going. They have a chance to spoil their biggest rival's season, and I think they're going to come out of the gates fired up.
I think they end up 8-6 after this. I think they win tonight. More interesting to me to see. I'm more interested to see them in the dance.
Yeah.
I just think.
Oh yeah, because they can make a run.
I know. I'm excited for